The following poem is read for LibriVox.org by Shona Brogdon Sturble. Ardor and Memory by Dante Gabriel Rossetti. The cuckoo throb, the heartbeat of the spring, the rosebud's blush that leaves it as it grows into the full-eyed, fair, unblushing rose. The summer clouds that visit every wing with fires of sunrise and of sunsetting. The furtive, flickering streams to light reborn mid air's new-fledged and valorous lust of morn, while all the daughters of the daybreak sing. These ardor loves and memory, and when flown all joys, and through dark forest boughs in flight, the wind swoops onward, brandishing the light. Even yet, the rose tree's verdure left alone will flush all ruddy, though the rose be gone, with ditties and with dirges infinite. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Child, Child by Sarah Teasdale. Read for LibriVox.org by Ernst Batinama. Child, child, love while you can the voice and the eyes and the soul of a man. Never fear, though it break your heart. Out of the wound new joy will start. Only love proudly and gladly and well, though love be heaven or love be hell. Child, child, love while you may, for life is short as a happy day. Never fear the thing you feel, only by love is life made real. Love, for the deadly sins are 7. Only through love will you enter heaven. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Crossing the Bar by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Read for LibriVox.org by Mark Smith. Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. But such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Dead Man Walking by Thomas Hardy. Read for LibriVox.org by Joseph Finkberg. The Dead Man Walking. They hail me as one living, but don't they know that I have died of late years, untuned although? I am but a shape that stands here, a pulseless mould, a pale past picture screening ashes gone cold. Not a minute warning, not in a loud hour, for me ceased time's enchantments in hall and bower. There was no tragic transit, no catch of breath, when silent seasons inched me unto this death. A troubadour youth, I rambled with life for a lyre, the beats of being raging in me like a fire. But when I practiced eyeing the goal of men, it iced me, and I perished a little then. When past my friend, my kinsfolk, through the last door, and left me standing bleakly, I died yet more. And when my love's heart kindled in hate of me, wherefore I knew not, died I one more degree. And if, when I died fully, I cannot say, and changed into the corpse thing I am today, yet it is that, the whiling the time somehow, in walking, talking, smiling, I live not now. End of poem. This recording is public domain.
A dream, after reading Dante's episode of Paolo and Francesca by John Keats, read for LibriVox.org by Sergio Baldelli, in Rome, August 2008. As Hermes once took to his feathers light, when lulled Argus, baffled, swooned and slept, so on a Delphic reed my idle sprite so played, so charmed, so conquered, so bereft the dragon world of all its 100 eyes, and, seeing it sleep, so fled away, not to pure Ida with its snow-cold skies, nor unto Tempe where Jove grieved a day, but to that second circle of sad hell, where mid the gust, the whirlwind, and the flow of rain and the hailstones, lovers need not tell their sorrows. Pale were the sweet lips I saw, pale were the lips I kissed, and the fair the form I floated with about that melancholy storm. End of a poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My prime of youth is but a frost of cares, by Chidiock Tichborne. Recorded for LibriVox.org by Abid. My prime of youth is but a frost of cares, my feast of joy is but a dish of pain, my crop of corn is but a field of tares, and all my good is but vain hope of gain. The day is done, and yet I saw no sun, and now I live, and now my life is done. The spring is past, and yet it hath not sprung. The fruit is dead, and yet the leaves are green. My youth is gone, and yet I am but young. I saw the world, and yet I was not seen. My thread is cut, and yet it was not spun. And now I live, and now my life is done. I sought my death, and found it in my womb. I looked for life, and saw it was a shade. I trod the earth, and knew it was my tomb. And now I die, and now I am but made. The glass is full, and now the glass is run. And now I live, and now my life is done. End of recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain.
At the End of the Day by Richard Hovey. Read for LibriVox.org by Podvoxer. There is no escape by the river. There is no flight left by the fen. We are compassed about by the shiver of the night of their marching men. Give a cheer for our hearts shall not give way. Here's to a dark tomorrow, and here's to a brave today. The tale of their hosts is countless, and the tale of ours a score. But the palm is naught to the dauntless, and the cause is more and more. Give a cheer! We may die but not give way. Here's to a silent morrow, and here's to a stout today. God has said, Ye shall fail and perish, but the thrill ye have felt tonight I shall keep in my heart and cherish when the worlds have passed in night. Give a cheer, for the soul shall not give way. Here's to the greater tomorrow that is born of a great today. Now shame on the craven truckler and the pulling things that mope. We've a rapture for our buckler that outwears the rings of hope. Give a cheer, for our joy shall not give way. Here's in the teeth of tomorrow to the glory of today. End of At the End of the Day. This recording is in the public domain.
The Fly by William Blake. Read for LibriVox.org by Ross Clement. The Fly. Little fly, thy summer's play my thoughtless hand has brushed away. Am not I a fly like thee, or art not thou a man like me? For I dance and drink and sing till some blind hand shall brush my wing. If thought is life, and strength and breath, and the want of thought is death, then am I a happy fly, if I live or if I die. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Fond Kiss by Robert Burns. Recorded on LibriVox.com by Cyrene Darktail. A fond kiss, and then we sever. A farewell, and then forever. Deep and heart-wrung tears I'll pledge thee, warring sighs and groans I'll wage thee. Who shall say that fortune grieves him, while the star of hope she leaves him? Me. A cheerful twinkle lights me, dark despair around benights me. I'll ne'er blame my partial fancy, nothing could resist my Nancy. But to see her was to love her, love but her, and love forever. Had we never loved, say kindly, had we never loved, say blindly, never met or never parted, we had ne'er been broken-hearted. Fare thee well, thou first and fairest. Fare thee well, thou best and dearest. Thine be like a joy and treasure, peace, enjoyment, love and pleasure. A fond kiss, and then we sever. A farewell, alas, forever. Deep in heart-wrung tears I'll pledge thee, warring sighs and groans I'll wage thee. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
'Tis the Last Rose of Summer by Thomas Moore. Read for LibriVox.org by Ernst Patinama, Amsterdam, the Netherlands. 'Tis the last rose of summer, left blooming alone. All her lovely companions are faded and gone. No flower of her kindred, no rosebud is nigh, to reflect back her blushes, or give sigh for sigh. I'll not leave thee, thou lone one, to pine on the stem. Since the lovely are sleeping, go, sleep thou with them. Thus kindly I scatter thy leaves o'er the bed, where thy mates of the garden lie scentless and dead. So soon may I follow, when friendships decay, and from love's shining circle the gems drop away. When true hearts lie withered, and fond ones are flown, oh, who would inhabit this bleak world alone? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The following poem is read for LibriVox.org by Shona Brogdon Sturble. Lovers in Finiteness by John Donne. If yet I have not all thy love, dear, I shall never have it all. I cannot breathe one other sigh to move, nor can entreat one other tear to fall, and all my treasure which should purchase thee, sighs, tears, and oaths, and letters I have spent. Yet no more can be due to me than at the bargain made was meant. If then thy gift of love were partial, that some to me, some should to others fall, dear, I shall never have thee all. Or if then thou gavest me all was but all which thou hadst then. But if in thy heart, since there be or shall, new love created be by other men, which have their stocks entire, and can in tears, in sighs, in oaths, and letters outbid me, this new love may beget new fears, for this love was not vowed by thee. And yet it was, thy gift being general, the ground. Thy heart is mine. Whatever shall grow there, dear, I should have it all. Yet I would not have all yet. He that hath all can have no more. And since my love doth every day admit new growth, thou shouldst have new rewards in store. Thou canst not every day give me thy heart. If thou canst give it, then thou never gavest it. Love's riddles are, that though thy heart depart, it stays at home, and thou with losing savest it. But we will have a way more liberal than changing hearts, to join them, so we shall be one, and one another's all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Man was made to mourn, a dirge, by Robert Burns. Read for LibriVox.org by Joseph Finkberg. When chill November's surely blast made fields and forests bare, one evening as I wandered forth along the banks of Ayr, I spied a man whose aged step seemed weary, worn with care. His face furrowed o'er with years, and hoary was his hair. "Young stranger, whither wanderest thou?" began the reverend sage. "Does thirst of wealth thy step constrain, or youthful's pleasures rage? Or haply pressed with cares and woes, too soon thou hast begun to wander forth with me to mourn the miseries of man? The sun that overhangs yon moors outspreading far and wide, where hundreds labour to support a haughty lordling's pride. I've seen yon weary winter sun twice 40 times return, and every time has added proofs that man was made to mourn. O man, while in thy early years how prodigal of time, misspending all thy precious hours, thy glorious youthful prime. Alternate follies take the sway, licentious passions burn, which tenfold force gives nature's law, that man was made to mourn. Look not alone on youthful prime, or manhood's active might. Man then is useful to his kind, supported in his right. But see him on the edge of life, with cares and sorrows worn, then age and want, oh, ill-matched pair, show man was made to mourn. A few seem favourites of fate, in pleasure's lap caressed, Yet think not all the rich and great are likewise truly blessed. But oh, what crowds in every land, all wretched and forlorn, through weary life this lesson learn, that man was made to mourn. Many and sharp the numerous ills inwoven with our frame, more pointed still we make ourselves regret, remorse, and shame. But man whose heaven-erected face the smiles of love adorn, man's inhumanity to man makes countless thousands mourn. See yonder poor o'erlaboured wight, so abject, mean, and vile, who begs a brother of the earth to give him leave to toil, to see his lordly fellow worm the poor petition spurn, unmindful though a weeping wife and helpless offspring mourn. If I'm designed yon lordling slave, by nature's law designed, why was an independent wish e'er planted in my mind? If not, why am I subject to his cruelty or scorn? Or why has man the will and power to make his fellow mourn? Yet let not this too much, my son, disturb thy youthful breast. This partial view of humankind is surely not the last. The poor, oppressed, honest man had never sure be born, had there not been some recompense to comfort those that mourn. O death, the poor man's dearest friend, the kindest and the best, welcome the hour my aged limbs are laid with thee at rest. The great, the wealthy fear thy blow, from pomp and pleasure torn. But oh, a blessed relief for those that weary laden mourn. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
O Captain, My Captain, by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by David Fetterman. O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack, the prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh, heart, 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 oh, the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead. O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills. For you bouquets and ribbon wreaths, for you the shores are crowding. For you they call, the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Hear, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head. It is some dream that on the deck you've fallen cold and dead. My Captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I, with mournful tread, walk the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Old Man's Complaints, and How He Gained Them, by Robert Southey. Read for LibriVox.org by Andy Minter. "You are old, Father William," the young man cried. "The few locks which are left you are grey. You are hale, Father William, a hearty old man. Now tell me the reason, I pray." "In the days of my youth," Father William replied, "I remembered that youth would fly fast, and abused not my health and my vigour at first, that I never might need them at last." "You are old, Father William," the young man cried, "and pleasures with youth pass away. and yet you lament not the days that are gone. Now tell me the reason, I pray. In the days of my youth, Father William replied, I remembered that youth could not last. I thought of the future, whatever I did, that I never might grieve for the past. You are old, Father William, the young man cried, and life must be hastening away. You are cheerful, and love to converse upon death. Now tell me the reason, I pray. I am cheerful, young man, Father William replied. Let the cause thy attention engage. In the days of my youth I remembered my God, and he hath not forgotten my age. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To One Who Has Been Long in City Pent, by John Keats, read for LibriVox.org by Sergio Baldelli in Rome, August 2008. To one who has been long in city pent, 'tis very sweet to look into the fair and open face of heaven, to breathe a prayer full in the smile of the blue firmament. Who is more happy when, with the heart's content, fatigued he sinks into some pleasant lair of wavy grass, and reads a debonair and gentle tale of love and languishment, returning home at evening, with an ear catching the notes of Philomel, an eye watching the sailing cloudlet's proud career, he mourns that day so soon has glided by, e'en like the passage of an angel's tear that falls through the clear ether silently. End of a poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ozymandias by Percy Bysshe Shelley. Read for LibriVox.org by Michael Downing. I met a traveller from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read which yet survive stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear, my name is Ozymandias, king of kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Prospice by Robert Browning, recorded by Mark Smith. Fear death, to feel the fog in my throat, the mist in my face, when the snows begin and the blast denote I am nearing the place, the power of the night, the press of the storm, the post of the foe, where he stands, the arch fear in a visible form, yet the strong man must go. For the journey is done, and the summit attained, and the barriers fall. Though a battle's to fight ere the guerdon be gained, the reward of it all. I was ever a fighter, so one fight more, the best and the last. I would hate that death bandaged my eyes and forbore, and made me creep past. No, let me taste the whole of it, fare like my peers, the heroes of old. Bear the brunt, in a minute pay glad life's arrears of pain, darkness, and cold. For sudden the worst turns the best to the brave, the black minutes at end, and the elements rage, the fiend voices that rave shall dwindle, shall blend, shall change, shall become first a peace out of pain, then a light, then thy breast. O thou soul of my soul, I shall clasp thee again, and with God be the rest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Richard Cory by Edwin Arlington Robinson. Read for LibriVox.org by David Fetterman. Whenever Richard Cory went downtown, we people on the pavement looked at him. He was a gentleman from soul to crown, clean-favored and imperially slim. And he was always quietly arrayed, and he was always human when he talked. But still he fluttered pulses when he said, "Good morning," and he glittered when he walked. And he was rich, yes, richer than a king, and admirably schooled in every grace. In fine, we thought he was everything to make us wish that we were in his place. So on we worked and waited for the light, and went without the meat and cursed the bread. And Richard Cory, one calm summer night, went home and put a bullet through his head. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Rolling English Road by G.K. Chesterton. Read for LibriVox.org by Michael Dowling. Before the Roman came to Rye, or out to Severn strode, the rolling English drunkard made the rolling English road, a reeling road, a rolling road that rambles round the shire, and after him the parson ran, the sexton and the squire, a merry road, a mazy road, and such as we did tread, the night we went to Birmingham by way of Beachy Head. I knew no harm of Bonaparte, and plenty of the squire, and for to fight the Frenchmen I did not much desire, but I did bash their bayonets, because they came arrayed to straighten out the crooked road an English drunkard made, where you and I went down the lane with ale mugs in our hands, the night we went to Glastonbury by way of Goodwin Sands. His sins they were forgiven him, or wider flowers run behind him, and the hedges all strengthening in the sun. The wild thing went from left to right, and knew not which was which, but the wild rose was above him when they found him in the ditch. God pardon us, nor harden us, we did not see so clear, the night we went to Bannockburn by way of Brighton Pier. My friends, we will not go again, or ape an ancient rage, or stretch the folly of our youth to be the shame of age, but walk with clearer eyes and ears this path that wandereth, and see undrugged in evening light the decent inn of death. For there is good news yet to hear, and fine things to be seen, before we go to paradise by way of Kensal Green. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Sea Dirge by Lewis Carroll. Read for LibriVox.org by Ross Clement. A Sea Dirge. There are certain things, as a spider, a ghost, the income tax, gout, an umbrella for three, that I hate, but the thing that I hate the most is a thing they call the sea. Pour some salt water over the floor, ugly I'm sure you'll allow it to be. Suppose it extended a mile or more, that's very like the sea. Beat a dog till it howls outright, cruel, but all very well for a spree. Suppose that he did so day and night, that would be like the sea. I had a vision of nursery maids, tens of thousands passed by me, all leading children with wooden spades, and this was by the sea. Who invented those spades of wood? Who was it cut them out of the tree? None, I think, but an idiot could, or one that loved the sea. It is pleasant and dreamy, no doubt, to float, with thoughts as boundless and souls as free. But suppose you were very unwell in the boat, how do you like the sea? There is an insect that people avoid, whence is derived the verb to flee. Where have you been by it most annoyed? In lodgings by the sea. If you like your coffee with sand for dregs, a decided hint of salt in your tea, and a fishy taste in the very eggs, by all means choose the sea. And if with these dainties to drink and eat, you prefer not a vestige of grass or tree, and a chronic state of wet in your feet, then I recommend the sea. For I have friends who dwell by the coast, pleasant friends they are to me. It is when I am with them that I wonder most, that anyone likes the sea. They take me a walk, though tired and stiff, to climb the heights, I madly agree, and after a tumble or so from the cliff, they kindly suggest the sea. I try the rocks, and I think it cool that they laugh with such an excess of glee, as I heavily slip into every pool that skirts the cold, cold sea. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sea Fever by John Masefield. Read for LibriVox.org by J.D.V. I must down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sails shaking, and a grey mist on the sea's face and a grey dawn breaking. I must down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied, and all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying, and the flung spray and the blown spume and the seagulls crying. I must down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way where the wind's like a whetted knife, and all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Shell by Fanny Isabel Sherrick. Read for LibriVox.org by Carolyn Francis. Oh, take this shell, this pretty thing, with tinted waves of pearly red. Hold close your ear and hear it sing, then tell me what its voice hath said. A song of surges deep and strong, a song of summer sweet and long, a sound of storm and wind and rain, a sound of joy, a glad refrain. O plaything of the idle sea, whence come these changing tints of thine? Have sunset clouds looked down on thee, and stained thee with their hues divine? O tell the secrets thou must know, of clouds above and waves below. O whisper of the bending sky, and ocean caves where jewels lie. O beauteous seashell, tinged with red, what dost thou know, what canst thou tell? Unto what mysteries art thou wed, thou fragile thing, thou pearly shell? A whisper of the sounding sea, a sweep of surges strong and free, a tale of life, a tale of death, a warm bright sin, an icy breath. Ah, more than this, thou lovely shell, thy years have gathered from the deep, and more than this thy voice can tell of things learned in that ocean sleep. A grave within the lonely sea, a spot where love can never be, a place where tears may never fall, a lonely grave, and that is all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To My Dear and Loving Husband by Anne Bradstreet. Read for LibriVox.org by Carolyn Francis. If ever two were one, then surely we. If ever man were loved by wife, then thee. If ever wife were happy in a man, compare with me, ye women, if you can. I prize thy love more than whole mines of gold, or all the riches that the East doth hold. My love is such that rivers cannot quench, nor aught but love from thee give recompense. Thy love is such I can no way repay. The heavens reward thee manyfold, I pray. Then while we live, in love let's so persevere, that when we live no more, we may live ever. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.